Welcome to another episode on our channel. This is Michonne from The Walking Dead. My husband didn't have time. We actually have this 3D model, but he's never made anything this large and didn't have time to make it for me. So I saw it on eBay at a good price and I decided to go ahead and get it and try my hand at painting it. We also wanted to know, what is the quality of the 3D resin prints out there like? And apparently this came with problems. So there was some places where this was not cured appropriately. He had to set it back under UV light to make sure all the tackiness went away and so it wouldn't be toxic. The other thing that was problematic with it is it also had some supports that had to be broken off and sanded down. So it wasn't perfect. The most grievous thing, though, is when I get the head on with the hair on, and put a couple other figures next to it, you'll see it's not quite 1/6 scale. It's somewhere between 1/6 and 1/5, maybe 1/5 scale. It's a little too large. Apparently, the person who made it purchased the model and printed out what was supposed to be 1/6 scale according to the person who modeled it. It's slightly larger than 1/6 scale. So we know now that a 3D print isn't always going to be specific to your needs, and you just have to kind of find someone who's going to be doing the right sizes and the right quality. This is 2 pieces that are epoxied together. We use JB Weld that sets up in 60 seconds and cures in 60 minutes. So these 2 pieces went together first, put the boots on afterwards with the pants together so everything would line up nicely, got that into place, and then put the arms into the torso and hoped and prayed after we put the arms in that the hands would fit, because this is one piece. The sword with the 2 hands is one piece, hoping that one hand would fit on one arm and the other hand would fit on the other arm. And wouldn't you know it, they fit. And it's just being held together with pressure at this point in time. So I was a happy camper, because that stuff is hard to work with and hard to get off if you make a mistake. So that's not epoxied together, but it's a tight fit. And the torso, though, is epoxied to the pants. The painting came out exceptionally well. I'm very happy with the end product. Everything I've learned about painting has been put into play with this figure, and I'm really, really happy with the outcome. So we'll pause, get the head and the hair on. I haven't done the eyes. That's going to be the most challenging thing to do, and I don't know if I'm up to the challenge, but I haven't done the eyes yet. So we'll pause, though, and put the head on for you to see her as a whole figure. So we'll talk briefly about the painting. I'm really pleased with how this came out. This is my first statue. But basically I put browns, lighter browns, grays into the rock face, and then I did a black wash. So you put a few drops of black paint and water, you mix it so it's really watery. And then you kind of just paint all over it, and then you take something absorbent that's wet and you just kind of dab at it until you get off as much black as you want. And it turned out very well. The boots are black and only black, other than the studs. I used metallic silver for the studs. The pants are blue with a black wash again. And again, it was a light blue, put the wash on, dab away until you get it just the way you want it, where the creases are showing and so forth. I put a silver buckle on the belt. I made the belt black. The shirt, I know she's seen with purple, a purple shirt, but I've seen her with an orange shirt on as well, and I think I fancied more the orange underneath the vest. So I went with orange, did a black wash on that, a lighter brown vest, did a black wash on that. And then, of course, her skin tone is like a chocolate brown. The hair is not quite black. There is black in it, but there is some gunmetal gray mixed in to tone the black down. So that's what I did with the hair. I used the same blue for the bandana, probably taking some artistic liberty there, but I thought that would match better with the pants. And I did a black wash with the bandana. Her gloves are black. The bottom part of the sheath and the belt is black, that's holding the sheath in place. The top part of the sheath is white. You'll see it when we get a back shot of her, but with a little black wash, as is the handle. It's white with a little black wash. The blade itself is metallic silver. And I think that's pretty much it. I have not done her eyes yet. That's going to be the hardest part of this whole process. But what I have done so far, I'm really thrilled with. It came out better than I hoped for. She looks great. It's just her size that is not right. We'll pause, put a couple 1/6 scale figures in here so you can see what I mean about the size. She's either 1/5 scale or somewhere in between 1/6 and 1/5, but I think she's 1/5 scale. Here's what I'm talking about when I say that she is definitely a different scale. So if I put Daryl even with her stand here, you can see her belt line is up here, his is down here, all right? And if you just look at the feet, these feet are huge compared to his feet. So you put these two figures in the front, and you can just tell she is larger than these two figures. So I'll be happy when my husband makes me a 1/6 scale figure. I will repaint it and show you how I do the painting, because you really can't go wrong with washes. It's the eyes that are the hard part. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Anyway, we'll pause now and get her on a turn tray. So we'll go around and see her from different angles. You can see how a wash can really bring out details in clothing. And I love the statue because the pose is so dynamic. Start there. Okay. So we'll get some tighter close-ups. Obviously, her eyes are not done yet. I'm going to see if I can pull that off as well. You can see the washes more clearly now. She does have a slight hole in her arm, and eventually you'll see a gouge in her face, which is not true to the original model. Ooh, I see I need to actually go in and wash that a bit more. You see it? Right there. It's a straight line. You'll see it in a close-up. All right. So I can show you the imperfections. There's a gouge here on her face from the bandana down to her cheek. That can be fixed with Magic Sculpt. So I'm not too upset about that. There's a hole in her arm. Make sure I get to the right point here, right here, which can also be fixed with Magic Sculpt. And underneath her arm, right in here, is a big gouge. That can be fixed. And there's a little dimple here too. That can be fixed. So Magic Sculpt can do wonders. You can fix all these imperfections, repaint over everything. The one thing I cannot fix is her size. Now, I think she's 1/5 scale. But if she isn't 1/5 scale, she's somewhere definitely in between 1/5 and 1/6 scale and will not look proportionate to my figures, which are 1/6 scale. So, you know, my husband's going to have to make me a smaller model of her. And then I'll show you how to paint her. Anyway, I love this figure. I love all the effort I put into painting her. I think she turned out well. The eyes are going to be the hard thing. But I can't keep her because she just won't fit in proportionate wise with the other figures. So there's a part of me that's disheartened because I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into painting this thing. I thought she turned out very well, but she's not the right size. So the moral of the story is find someone you can trust if you do want to purchase a resin 3D print figure. 1/6 is not always 1/6 scale. And actually, we didn't even know it wasn't 1/6 scale until we started putting her together. And then it became evident she's going to be way too tall for the other figures. So find someone you can trust. If you're into painting these things, find someone you can trust to get the scale that you want. Right now, I'm going to just trust my husband to make me a smaller scale, more appropriate to my other figures. And I'll be a happy camper when that happens. And I'll show you how to paint her at the same time. So I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, have a great day.